The three most mysterious miracles in the Bible. Elisha and the floating axe head. 2 Kings 6:17. In this story, Elisha was staying with a group of prophets by the Jordan River. One of the prophets had borrowed an iron axe to cut down trees near the river. While he was cutting the iron axe, head flew off the handle and fell into the river, sinking out of sight. Distressed because the axe was borrowed, the prophet turned to Elisha for help. Elisha cut a stick and threw it into the water at the spot where the axe head had sunk miraculously. As the stick touched the water, the iron axe head floated to the surface, allowing the prophet to retrieve it. This miracle highlights Elisha's connection to the power of God and his ability to intervene in the laws of nature. Elisha and the widow's oil. 2 Kings 4:17. Elisha encountered a widow who was in dire financial straits and at risk of losing her sons to her creditors. The widow came to Elisha for help, and he instructed her to borrow empty vessels from her neighbors. Elisha told her to pour her small jar of oil into the borrowed vessels, and as she did, the oil miraculously multiplied and filled all the containers. The widow was able to sell the oil and pay off her debts, securing a future for her and her sons. This miracle demonstrates God's ability to provide abundantly, even in the face of desperate circumstances. The healing of the poisoned stew. 2 Kings 4:3841. Elisha visited a company of prophets in their gathering place. They prepared a stew for a meal, but while cooking, someone mistakenly gathered wild gourds and added them to the pot. Unknown to them, the gourds were poisonous and made the stew harmful to eat. The prophets cried out to Elisha for help, and he responded by adding flour to the pot, effectively neutralizing the poison. The stew became safe to eat, and the prophets were able to enjoy the meal without harm. This miracle illustrates Elisha's role as a healer and the authority God had given him over natural elements.